Welcome back, everyone. I want to do a quick video on the reversal that we're seeing here for Dogecoin. We had a very strong candle yesterday, and we're closing at a very significant level. And we're waiting for evidence of this breakout here as we can wait for this next candle. But this candle here is so strong. This green candle. This is again what's known as an engulfing candle, and the candle is actually this movement up is so big that it actually is slightly smaller than the last 2 days negative previous action. So this is what I meant by sometimes when we're at like the significant support level, like the 15. When we have this area, this gap down, it acts as a spring. So if you're able to catch it down here, it typically springs back up to 15. Now you can expect if we get another green candle here and we close above the 15 range, what we're going to see is another spring action between 15 and 18, because as long as we're up here, remember we were testing 18 like every other day. So that is significant as far as for where the coin movement is trying to go, as far as we're trying to break out. And this spring here is evidence of this bullishness here as we spring back to 15, because sometimes when you break through, like for example, a 12, you don't respect it on the way up, it gets respected on the way down. And even when the 15 cent kind of like to flip it, we'll see if we have some trouble here, or if we have spent most of the day slightly red or battling in the 15 range, because sometimes that support can now become resistance until you break above it. But when you do break above it, again, that's when you have that big run up until the next level of resistance, which for Doge will be another 3 cent up to 15. So do not be surprised if we break above this and you see another big candle like this green one here back up to the 18 cent range. So this is why I meant when I said that you can try and catch this here or flash crash before the rebound, because these things typically don't last, and it's very quickly that they recover when you go back. So a couple things is what's making it recover like this. Well, we know that the interest points have by the Fed are remaining unchanged, but even though they're still expecting 3 cuts this year, but as of right now, they're unchanged. And then, of course, we have Dogecoin futures that are coming April 1st. There's a couple things on there. I'm going to save that for a separate video so we can kind of dive into like futures, because that really ties into what we've been talking about here with shorts. And I want to muddy that with this video. So I'll say that, but all that again is positive news. And so that kind of leads into what we were talking about yesterday with positioning. So when you have the turn of the markets where the macros kind of align, it's like, okay, well, it's not as bad as we thought. And then you have some bullish news as far as for whether that be utility or new market opening up for the coin. That comes down to positioning. When people say, okay, well, this coin is obviously growing, similar to what we've seen with the wallets, with the 800,000 wallets in the last 3 months. When you have this buzz generating around the community and they say, okay, well, it's growing, the people are adding wallets to it, the community is growing, there's the utility is coming as far as with X, and now it's spreading into new markets. All of that adds bullishness and perspective to where the coin is going to go longevity wise. And then you will see more and more people start to pile into the coin, because as we open up new markets, the price of the coin, it starts getting that undervalued perception. And once you have that undervalued perception, it's like a magnet for people to come in and start taking positions to say, okay, well, I want to ride this from undervalued to overvalued, right? That's where most of the meat is going to be when it comes to taking profits and growing your investment. So you'll typically see that type of price action. So we will take a look here at shorts, because that big green candle, you have to say, okay, well, how are shorts responding? Well, I know how they better respond, and they better start getting out. So we've seen somewhat, they closed down actually significantly yesterday. We'll see what they end up doing today, because I imagine if they don't get out now and we have that run to 20 cent, then they are going to be in trouble. Right. So we may see something similar to, when they got wrecked here. So this is going to be very, very interesting going forward, because we have pretty much one major point, which is around that 18 mark, because most of these shorts were taken at around 13 cent, 13, 14 cent. So even now, depending on what point they got in, a good portion of them are red, right? So what they're hoping for is that this is kind of going to die down. We can have another red day, and then it further goes down, because the people that took these shorts over the last few days, they're the ones that's hoping Doge goes to like 10 cent and 8 cent. So Doge has that run to 18 cent or 20 cent. Hey, it's get wrecked all over again, right? And obviously the more shorts that are in there, and then when those shorts typically, when they're returning those coins, that's how you kind of get that overshoot as well, which is why we had that spike to 21 cent. So if they get wrecked again, and we already are going to 20 cent plus with the positive news from elsewhere, then that can kind of give us another boost into the 20s. So once we close above 18, that opens up that window to the mid 20s. So that'll be certainly a good run here. And also, that starts leg 2. So let me go back over here. Now, even if we go back up to 15 and have this sideways consolidation for another week, that is all perfectly fine. But we need that 18 range to close above it to open up leg 2. So even if we bounce back up, go to 18 and continue along this pattern, it's something Doge has done before. Not the end of the world, but it is certainly a bullish trend here, because Doge typically does that. Let me go back. This is back in November, right? We had this breakout from around 6 cent. We ran up to around 867, and we had, let's say, 3 out of 4 red days, and we came back down to the top of liquidity around 713. And some people are like, oh my God, we're going back to 6 cent. No, just grabbing additional liquidity, and then we went on an absolute tear here, having 5-6 green days going forward. Red day, 3 more green days, a red day, followed by another 4 or 5 green days, right? And that was the run. Then we had the test at 10, and we retraced again back to the top of 8, grabbed liquidity, and then we went on another tear, right? So this is what we're seeing right now as far as for Doge going to 18 cent, getting rejected, going down to 15, grabbing liquidity, and then running to something like 25, 26. This is something that Doge has done several times, even in the last 6 months, right? So we're nothing abnormal here. So even if we came back up to 15 cent, we are doing absolutely fine. Just again, anything below this line, as we talked about, is absolute golden zone to grab some liquidity on this run. And I'll map these out as we get further in the cycle, because there'll be several opportunities where we have support. And let's say this support is 25 cent, and something happens and there's an opportunity where it breaks below support. Those are like, if you are looking to get additional coin count, or if you weren't sure about the bull market, or you're just getting into the coin, if you're one of those new people that added Doge to their portfolio in the last few months, those are the areas that you're going to want to buy, because even if it gives you a greater opportunity for profit, because you're not chasing current price action, and you're buying at the bottom of that current window. So this is how the people who, like, let's say you were one of those new wallets that purchased last month at around, let's say you got in around 13 cent or so, you're already in profit, right? And you didn't necessarily have to try and time the market, but you are looking at the areas and the key breakdowns to show that, okay, well, this is technically the support here. We're on a bullish trend. If we break below that, I'll take advantage of it. And then typically when it recovers in a very short time frame, normally less than a week, boom, you're already in profit. You're not chasing current price action or waiting on the next breakdown to try and average down to create a spread between current price action and your actual average. So it kind of pays to make sure that you watch the charts and identify these key areas. We're going to take a look here at one more thing, because BTC did not recover, but didn't go down as far. But we had this window here where I was saying around 58, 59 based off of the previous cycles here. We can technically, before the halving, we can have 20% correction. And again, we're waiting on confirmation here. This candle is still open. We'll get another green candle to the upside that we can start confirming it and saying, okay, officially a trend reversal. We'll see. That window is still open. We have 28 days roughly until halving. So, not saying that it's completely over, but just know that the ideal ranges are going to be the same thing for like a Dogecoin. the closer you can get it to this range, the easier money you're going to make, the faster money you're going to make. Go back to Doge. I wanted to provide that update. We will monitor this throughout the day to kind of get an idea of price action, because we were at 16 cents a couple hours ago. So we'll see again that this candle is just starting out. We'll see how this price action goes for the day, and that will kind of determine what we are looking at going forward. So if you found value in this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're going to hit 100K this year. I'd love for you to be in that number. Leave me a comment or like on the video, and I will see you in the next one.